Columbus, Ohio, May 7th, 2024. Whitehall police observed a stolen Hyundai and quickly initiated a pursuit with assistance from Columbus police.
Here for 604 here as well. 604 Shelby. We're still southbound Georgesville. It's going to be coming up to area of Walmart.
The sedan accelerated through multiple residential streets. Officers deployed spike strips, but the driver managed to avoid them and continued fleeing.
That's still on reason the way when it's fixed. Go to B, going up to Amherst. Single one north now, I think. Yeah, northbound. Just like, dude, I got 6 of my eyes. Right, so he's going to be inside of this shopping mall. He's going to have to out on Denver.
The vehicle then entered a construction zone with numerous traffic barrels, kicking up clouds of dust as it drove through the work area before turning onto a narrow tree-lined road.
I can't see, bro. How did you make it this? Ran it all over.
63123, okay. Are they agree on all in the spikes? 6315 in river.
When conditions allowed, a unit closed in and executed a pit, causing the Hyundai to lose control, slide out of the lane, strike a tree, and come to a stop.
Get out, get out. Two suspects were then taken under control at the scene and transported to a juvenile detention facility to await a hearing. Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, January 22nd, 2021. Fond du Lac police pursued a juvenile driving a white sedan who failed to comply with a stop order. The vehicle sped through multiple residential streets, cut across several turns, then left the roadway, drove through a snow-covered field, and returned to the street.
backside there. He's driving in the grass here to that parking lot. By the fire department. Times 3. Enter Parkway. Street or Court. Gonna be a dead end here. Stay at 76 at the end here. By 4 he's traveling through the front yard of 51. 5-4 for intermediate. Just in front of Pioneer. Right now. City set up over on
Step forward to the wall there. 78.
5-4, we are east on Grove.
Be advised the city is set up with sticks at Grove and Military.
The sedan continued searching for a way out but slid on the snow-covered roadway and drifted onto the shoulder, ending the pursuit.
All units stand by. 5-4 heat.
A-firm, 458.
I copy 458.
Show me your hands! Do it now!
The suspect exited the vehicle and fled on foot. Officers quickly initiated a search of the area, and the situation was later handled according to law enforcement procedures.
I copy no injuries on the
Arkansas. Arkansas State Police pursued a vehicle traveling at extremely high speed on the highway, at times reaching about 140 miles per hour.
Shut the interstate down. We're taking back off on the service road. Passengers foot bailing. Alright, one just bailed out. I'm still 1037 with it.
Do you have a description? Okay.
He rolled. It's a white. Stand by. Strapped to this parking lot at Riggs.
During the escape, the vehicle left its lane and entered a construction area, striking multiple barricades and driving through a parking lot.
Rammed another gate at Riggs.
Another gate at Riggs.
Rammed another gate at Riggs. And the Riggs. Rammed another gate at Riggs.
Copy that. Rammed another gate at Riggs.
The vehicle then returned to the main road, continued accelerating, and ran a red light at an intersection, leading to a collision with another vehicle in traffic and creating a chaotic situation.
We're coming up on University.
1041. 1041 at University.
Copy 1041 at University.
Show me your hands! Put your fucking hands up! I will kill you! Put your hands out the window! I will fucking kill you! Crawl out the window! Crawl out the window!
The driver was later brought under control at the scene, and the incident was handled according to procedure. Atlanta, Georgia, March 25, 2023. Georgia State Patrol assisted Atlanta police in pursuing a stolen silver Mercedes-Benz SUV on Interstate 20. When spotted, the driver accelerated and fled, weaving through traffic at high speed before exiting the interstate onto city streets, repeatedly running red lights and driving into oncoming lanes.
Stay at 20 East, extremely reckless, headed out of traffic. Right lane, Phoenix, are you on here?
And they're here where they're coming in.
All right, I'm getting caught up in traffic because nobody's moving out of my way. All right, far right lane, coming up to the connector. Far right lane, coming up to the connector. All right, south on McDaniel, passing Fulton Street.
Clear south on McDaniel, passing Fulton Street.
Taking a right on Abernathy, right on Abernathy.
Underneath your right on Abernathy.
Signaling to go left on Humphreys,
They're going left.
It's clear, nobody stops up. Alright, staying on Humphreys, south of Humphreys, taking a left on Rockwell.
Clear left on Rockwell.
Right on University.
Clear right on University.
Coming up the metro.
Clear approach, Metro.
Going into a parking lot. Right on Metro, northbound Metro.
Clear northbound Metro.
Passing Mayland Ave.
Amid heavy traffic, the Mercedes struck a vehicle ahead, slid into the opposite lane, then collided with several other vehicles before rolling multiple times and coming to a stop. The driver and passenger exited the vehicle and fled on foot. Officers initiated a search and established a perimeter with support from an aviation unit. The suspect was later located and taken under control, and the situation was handled according to procedure. Charles County, Maryland, June 29, 2023. Charles County Police pursued a vehicle fleeing on Route 205. The vehicle accelerated sharply and traveled at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour, repeatedly changing lanes and weaving through traffic as officers followed behind.
I'm behind it. You almost went head on with me. I got behind it. Southbound 205. Southbound 205, number 1 lane, speed to 75. 759, number 1 lane, traffic light, speed to 100. Castle Idlewood speed 102, number 2 lane, 0 traffic. I'm direct, still southbound 205, southbound 205, someone try to get 6 at 5205.
While traveling at high speed, the vehicle lost control, struck the median, then bounced into the opposite lanes, leading to collisions with vehicles in traffic.
Number 1 lane, 1050, 1050, 1050, 1050. The accident, 1050.
What are you guys thinking?
Parking run.
Officers quickly arrived at the scene, secured the situation, and directed traffic. And the incident was handled according to procedure. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Milwaukee police observed a vehicle suspected of dangerous driving and moved to approach it on Teutonia Avenue. While traveling through the intersection at West Cornell Street, the police patrol vehicle collided with another vehicle at the West Cornell Street intersection, causing both vehicles to stop at the scene.
5374, Teutonia Cornell, which is involved.
Two officers were not injured. The suspect vehicle was later identified as a black Ford Fusion, and the incident was handled according to procedure. Lenoke County, Arkansas, July 10, 2025. Police observed Michael Zuber III operating a sport motorcycle without a license plate on Kerr Station Road. When officers signaled him to stop, he fled through a residential area, running stop signs and reaching speeds of about 100 miles per hour. During the escape, the passenger jumped off along the roadside while the motorcycle continued accelerating away.
.37 Motor Rock. Northbound through campground, it's a white male, black t-shirt, black shorts. If you would notify Cabot, see if they've got any units that can assist. Still northbound, 55 past Liberty.
While attempting to turn from Kerr Station Road onto South Adams Street, the motorcycle slid off the roadway, lost control, and went down in a ditch, ending the pursuit.
There was a white male jumped off around, wrecked out.
Roll over on your fucking face.
Zuber was restrained. A check revealed drug paraphernalia. The suspect faces charges of fleeing, causing danger, possession of drug paraphernalia, driving under the influence of intoxicants, refusal to submit to testing, driving with a suspended license, reckless driving, speeding, no insurance, and no license plate. Jefferson County, Arkansas, May 24, 2024. Arkansas State Police observed Tyrese Lancaster, 19, speeding on Interstate 530 near exit 24. When the troopers signaled him to stop, Lancaster accelerated and fled southbound at speeds, at times exceeding 140 miles per hour, exiting the interstate at several ramps before returning to Interstate 530 and weaving through traffic. As the vehicle approached exit 35, it lost control, struck a guardrail, and came to a stop on the exit ramp. Shortly after, a patrol vehicle made contact with the suspect's vehicle as units closed in. Lancaster was medically checked at the scene before being taken into custody. Records show the suspect faces charges of fleeing by vehicle causing serious danger, speeding, reckless driving, failure to wear a seatbelt, and possession or purchase of alcohol by a minor. Arkansas County, Arkansas, September 25, 2024. Police pursued Kedrick Lamon Ajay after he was observed driving a red SUV at 72 miles per hour in a construction zone limited to 45 miles per hour on US Highway 79 near Stuttgart.
Back up a little bit.
21, they're pulling over right here before north of Jeter Road.
As officers moved in, the vehicle accelerated to more than 110 miles per hour and repeatedly crossed into oncoming lanes.
Southbound 79, speeds 95, medium traffic.
North up along the Lincoln City Limit, speed 115 miles an hour at this time.
Cutting in front of me when I try to go for a TBI. We're still southbound 100.
Okay, you're telling you are you still trying to get about where you can do TBI?
10-4, when I try to go up, he's cutting off. He's cutting me off, and then there's traffic. B79, passing the Old Country store.
remember not to protect while you're going around them and you get right up there and get ready.
While fleeing near the Wabasaka area, the SUV swerved and lost control on its own, leaving the roadway and entering a field where the vehicle came to a stop.
He just drove off into a field. It's going to be just north of Cantrell Road on 79. Go ahead and start at 16.
A G then fled on foot across the field but was quickly apprehended, and passenger Emily Rose Fritz was also restrained at the scene. Both were transported to the Arkansas County Detention Center and faced charges related to fleeing, drugs, and weapons. Troup County, Georgia, August 9, 2022. Police observed Roderick Lee driving a Chevrolet Malibu at excessive speed on Interstate 185. When signaled to stop, the vehicle accelerated and fled, exiting the interstate onto local roads and repeatedly crossing into oncoming lanes.
Go ahead.
1038 up 1080. It's going to be 411 northbound. Getting off at the 46, hanging right. Texas tag and Silver Malibu. Mike Kilo 02149. MKZ 2149. Upper Big Spring.
Clear. 1033. Not wait.
Alright, taking a left on Knott Road, left on Knott Road. Come on, man.
Right, where you at?
During the pursuit, passengers inside the vehicle jumped out one by one.
Bravo Ranger, radio screaming saying 1020.
Alright, I got a rear passenger jumped out of the car. Rear passenger jumped out of the car, Forest Road. Still 2 eastbound. It's black male, white shorts, gray shirt.
Clear, passenger jumped out the vehicle. You're continuing on with the driver.
10-4, looks like I still got 3 in the car. This is Cedar Point Drive, eastbound.
Clear, passenger Cedar Point Drive, eastbound.
Black shorts and a white female, red shirt, black shorts.
Clear, black male, white female, jumped out.
Negative. Both passenger black and still got front passenger in front.
Near the Cedar Point Road area, an officer deployed a pit, but the vehicle continued moving.
Hit. Alright, they're recovered. Hang on.
50, what's your point?
Alright, continue back eastbound on the Trash Road.
Eastbound crash at 1050.
As assisting units closed in from the front, the car braked abruptly and came to a stop. A patrol vehicle then made contact with the rear of the vehicle, ending the pursuit.
Give me your hand! Give me the ground! in the ground.
Lee was restrained and transported to the Troup County Jail. A search of the vehicle revealed about 1.5 pounds of marijuana, along with a digital scale and multiple small baggies. The suspect faces a charge of possession of marijuana with intent to distribute. Union County, Ohio police observed Kyle F. Price, 22, of Reynoldsburg, operating a stolen cargo truck on Interstate 270 West and failing to comply with a stop order. The vehicle accelerated away, repeatedly changing lanes and driving onto the shoulder as units from Gahanna Police and the Ohio State Highway Patrol followed during the pursuit toward Marysville.
Post 80 is now patched with you. Post 80 is patched with you. Signal forwarding to all units not in the pursuit.
Officers deployed spike strips, but the suspect steered onto the grassy shoulder to avoid them before returning to the main lanes.
Let's go, Orlando 100. 1237, go. Proximate, get past the proximate. Let them get these. Pull off on these spikes first. Pull off on these spikes first. Need 100.
Troopers quickly closed the distance and executed multiple pit maneuvers, causing the truck to lose control and come to a stop on the interstate.
Hey guys, blocky.
Price was restrained at the scene and transported to a detention facility. Records show the suspect faces charges of aggravated assault, vehicular assault causing serious injury, failure to comply with a stop order and fleeing, and driving under the influence. Atlanta, Georgia, December 21st, 2023. Georgia State Patrol observed Charles Hopkins driving a black Infiniti G37 at 102 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone on Interstate 20 near Maynard Terrace.
Go ahead,
20 West at Boulevard, 20 West at Boulevard, Sam Edward 0446, SED 0446, black Infiniti.
We'll try to get our last call.
That'll be no activity on that one.
When signaled to stop, the driver exited onto Capitol Avenue, ran a red light, then returned to Interstate 20, accelerating to more than 145 miles per hour while weaving through traffic.
1080, Atlanta, 1080. Southbound, Hank Garrett.
10-3,
Back on 20 east. Back on 20 east. 20 east. Check that tag, going over to 1099.
When the vehicle exited the interstate onto Glenwood Avenue, the officer deployed a pit on the exit ramp, causing the Infiniti to spin and come to a stop on the grassy median, ending the pursuit.
Pit on the ramp, pit on the ramp.
Clear, bit on the ramp.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Roll it down! Roll it down! Roll it down! You run up, shoot your ass! Come here! Keep both your hands up! Hey, get your fucking hands up!
Hopkins was then restrained at the scene. A check showed signs of alcohol use, and he had an active warrant related to child sexual offenses from the College Park Police Department. The suspect was transported to the College Park City Jail for intake and processing according to procedure. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, November 17, 2021. Milwaukee police observed a Nissan Infiniti G35 associated with reckless driving near South 27th Street and West Layton Avenue. When officers signaled the vehicle to stop, the driver accelerated and fled through multiple city streets, weaving through alleys and reaching speeds of about 80 miles per hour as the pursuit continued for several miles.
Good. The car's fleeing southbound on 23rd from Wade. Might have been the car that squad just went out with that flag, trying to catch up. Westbound come through 27. Gonna go westbound passing 27. Not clear, not clear. Clear. Westbound on Wade from about 29 speed. 60 for us. No traffic on the street, roads are dry. It's gonna be an Infiniti G35 on Reckless Drive.
Request assistance from Greenfield. Sticks.
Or stop sticks authorized.
Stop 6 are authorized, 2 squads only.
Alright, went north on 36. Has got a block on it. No traffic on the street.
Yeah, these brakes suck.
Continuing northbound on
Keep coming up to Lincoln again. Red light at Lincoln, he's going to slow down for the red light. And he's going to go through the red light and keep going northbound.
clear, left clear, right across the third car.
Oh, come on.
Speeds are 60 miles an hour, traffic light, roads are dry.
That's when I wish that
And they come out to Burnham.
That's when I wish that leapfrog stuff was good.
2 cars only. He's through Burnham, he's in about a block on us. Speeds are 90 miles an hour, traffic light, roads are dry. Yep.
I got it.
40 miles an hour, traffic light, roads are dry.
Clear, 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 clear.
And we're northbound on Chavez, now coming up to Greenfield. Speeds are 45 miles an hour, traffic light, roads are dry. We have a red light at Greenfield, he's not going to slow down, he's going to go right through.
Yeah, and a squad on the left side. Clear, clear, clear.
Still northbound, passing Tower, coming up the Mineral. We have all green and black and yellow lights. Coming up the National, we have a red light at National. He's going to slow down for the red light at National. He's going to go through, he's going to continue northbound.
Clear.
Squads.
Past National, he's going to go slow down. We lost sight of him again. If they left him westbound on Wisconsin, it's going to be a gray Infinity, no plate. Wanted for reckless driving. We're on 17th of Wisconsin, lost sight. Says it's stated southbound on 17th Street from Wisconsin if there's any squads in the area.
You're good. He's circling back to D2.
Yeah, he's going back.
If we get somebody on 27, he possibly will go back west. 2282, we're trying to go right at 1027.
The fucking car is right there, dude. It's coming right at us.
3221, the vehicle is coming.
3221, the car's coming head on us right now. Stop the car!
Vehicle
3221.
Vehicle.
Could be in pursuit, it's a dark gray.
When the vehicle turned into a residential area, it entered the backyard of a house and came to a stop.
Now going eastbound. Westbound. Mount Vernon, you just ran into the car. Crash.
McKinley and 17.
Stop running!
Police, put your hands up!
The suspect exited the vehicle and fled on foot but was quickly restrained and taken into custody at the scene. No injuries were reported. Little Rock, Arkansas, February 6, 2025. Police observed Tavares Mitchell operating an unregistered motorcycle at more than 80 miles per hour on Interstate 630. When the officer activated a stop signal, Mitchell accelerated and fled, leaving the interstate for city streets and continuing at high speed.
Bike going 107 eastbound on 630. B1037 on a motorcycle, leave westbound.
As he approached a curve, the officer executed a TVI to the rear of the vehicle, causing the motorcycle to lose control and Mitchell to fall onto the roadway.
Yes, 1065 right on 10, 1037.
Come on, crazy!
Mitchell was then restrained and transported for medical treatment before being taken to a detention facility. Records show he faces multiple charges, including fleeing from law enforcement, speeding, operating a vehicle with an expired license, and operating a motorcycle without a valid license. Bay County, Florida, September 24, 2024. Bay County deputies pursued Gerald Dwayne Stewart III and passenger Sanders after they were observed driving a black Dodge Durango connected to a robbery reported earlier. When officers signaled the vehicle to stop on Steelfield Road, the Durango accelerated away, drove through a construction area, and merged onto U.S. Highway 79 at high speed.
Coming out onto 79 going We're in pursuit. North on 79.
A police unit deployed spike strips, deflating the left rear tire, but the Durango continued traveling on Highway 79 at speeds of about 130 to 140 miles per hour, before leaving the roadway and entering a roadside ditch. Stewart and Sanders exited the vehicle and fled into nearby woods, but were later located and apprehended. Records show they faced charges of fleeing and resisting law enforcement. Paducah, Kentucky police observed Marion Dalton Barnes failing to comply with a stop order and accelerating away, leading to a pursuit through multiple roads around Paducah, with assistance from Kentucky State Police and local units.
He just sideswiped the car, Mayfield. He just sideswiped the car, and I think he might have hit 520's car.
You've got authority now to continue into Illinois until they can take over.
See where he's going flat. I think he might be about to bail right here before the state line.
Hey.
He's going to go back eastbound. He's in the median. Stand by. I'm not sure what he's doing. I don't know if he's about to get out with something. Yeah, we're off-road. We're off-road before the 4. Off-road before the 4. We're by AAA storage off-road. He's going through a field right now.
10-4 copy off-road, AAA storage, exit 4. 10-4 copy eastbound from the 4. His tires?
I don't think his tires are flat. Back eastbound, passing the 4. Speeds are still under 2, passing the 4. He's going to lock them up again on him.
All units, be advised we've got stop 6 being deployed by Paducah PD between the 7.2 and 7.4. Stop 6 between the 7274. All units be advised, Marshall County is now being sent to the intersection as well. 430 days, but I'm staying with script.
During the escape, the vehicle left the roadway several times, drove across grass, went through a fence, and passed through an area near a church.
The church at the 7th.
Off-road at the 7.
Just went through a fence in the parking lot of the big church.
10-4 through the fence at the church.
He's going towards Pecan, going towards Pecan.
Going towards Pecan.
Going towards WKCTC.
I got your statement at 5 star. 10-4 east on Alvin Barclays. Traffic moderate speed 6 and 5 star. Negatives on the stick at 5 star. I've got a McCracken unit in front of me.
You just let me know when you'll be
I'll let you know. Major, we're now going for a Beltline overpass. Speed trick 70.
I don't know if you heard the traffic, you might be armed with papers if we do that.
10-4, just use your high-risk stop procedures. McCracken's advising if we terminate, they will terminate as well.
It then gradually lost stability, slowed down, and went off into roadside grass, coming to a stop in an open lot.
The vehicle on the Beltline overpass. Temple copy out vehicle, starts to made Beltline line. So we're stopped, looks like we're stopped here, 1045.
Hands on your head! Hey, hold it. On the stomach! I got it. Here you go.
Barnes was then restrained at the scene and transported to a detention facility. Records indicate the suspect faces more than 50 charges related to the incident. Talbot County, Georgia, May 28, 2021. Police observed Antoine Barnes driving a gray Nissan Altima at more than 100 miles per hour on State Route 96 and initiated a traffic stop.
Hey there, what's going on, boss? Alright, let me get your driver's license, boss. You ain't got none. What are you at? What are you at?
As the officer instructed the driver to exit the vehicle, Barnes suddenly put the car into gear and accelerated away, leading to a pursuit on State Route 96 and continuing onto State Route 22.
A62 Manchester, I'm 1080.
Unit 10-3, 1033, 62, 1080.
Three occupants in the car, one black male,
The sedan weaved through traffic at high speed, repeatedly crossing into oncoming lanes.
Don't go.
Go ahead, sir. Get your belt down. Come on, we're trying to.
When conditions allowed, the officer deployed a pit, causing the Altima to spin sideways, cross the median, and come to a stop on the roadside grass. Barnes was then restrained at the scene. A check showed he was driving with a suspended license and was wanted on multiple warrants, including probation violation, robbery, and receiving stolen property. St. Johns County, Florida, December 19th, 2023. St. Johns County deputies observed Mariah Riley driving a blue Cadillac suspected to be connected to a serious theft on Interstate 95 southbound. As officers moved in to conduct a stop, the vehicle immediately accelerated away. A Florida Highway Patrol trooper quickly joined the pursuit and took the lead. The Cadillac sped to nearly 140 miles per hour, repeatedly changing lanes through traffic. As the distance closed, the trooper executed a pit, causing the vehicle to spin sideways and come to a stop on the interstate. Riley and two others inside the vehicle were restrained and transported to the county jail. Records show the suspect faces charges of grand theft, fleeing from law enforcement, and reckless driving. Haralson County, Georgia, August 21st, 2021. While patrolling on Morgan Road, an officer observed Teresa Lynn Morgan driving a Toyota at excessive speed. When signaled to stop, the vehicle failed to comply, ran a stop sign, and accelerated through Hilltop Drive and Baxter Road, repeatedly crossing into oncoming lanes.
High rate of speed, over 100. I get an opportunity on my kids, on the wrong side of the road. Clear. Lowest stop sign. Lowest stop sign, lowest stop sign. Still easing on back there. Still easing on back there. Clear, still easing on back. Passing the Circle Road. I'll be fixing the bush bomb just so I can stand by. Get ready to get out. They're reaching.
The pursuit continued along Baxter Road until near the Stagecoach Road area, where the vehicle began to slow. Seeing an appropriate moment to end the situation, the officer executed a pit, causing the Toyota to spin sideways and stop on the roadway.
Get your ass out! Get your ass out! Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! Get out of the car now! Get out! What are you racing for?
Morgan was ordered to exit the vehicle and was restrained at the scene, then transported to the Haralson County Jail, facing charges of driving under the influence and felony fleeing. Findlay, Ohio, September 3rd, 2023. Ohio troopers observed a vehicle believed to be driven by a suspect connected to a serious case and initiated a stop on Interstate 75. The driver failed to comply and immediately accelerated away, traveling at speeds exceeding 110 miles per hour, repeatedly changing lanes and passing other vehicles as troopers followed behind.
I'm gonna go through with it.
Okay.
I got units close.
1383 is a minute or two out. Just advise that these stops are continued solid.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for you to get a little bit closer. We're doing 85 now. I think 6 aware of me being behind.
If you take the flyover and continue south, I'm at the intersection now.
We're southbound at the 156, southbound 156, I'll wait for you.
Okay, so you hit the first crossover at the 156. Top on 153.
Okay, then we got aviation. Family is taking off. Passing on the berm, speed's
146, speed 109. We got the 235 exit shortly, so left lane now, speed 110.
What lane are spikes in?
Still in the left lane.
Backing off for spikes, 145.
Both lane. Get out there, Doc. right lane now. Good bike. Exit 118, entering Albies County, speed 71.
As the distance closed, troopers executed a pit, causing the vehicle to spin sideways, leave the lane, and slide onto the grassy shoulder along the interstate.
Frontline, okay. Successful pit.
30-minute ETA.
Frontline, okay.
Successful pit.
Successful pit.
In the median, we're done.
The vehicle came to a stop with smoke coming from the engine compartment. Officers then quickly approached the vehicle and brought the situation under control at the scene. Further actions were carried out according to procedure. Little Rock, Arkansas, December 7th, 2024. Police observed Markel Campbell driving an orange Dodge Challenger cutting through a parking lot to avoid a red light at Baseline Road and Chicote Road. When officers signaled the vehicle to stop, the driver accelerated and fled through Azalea Drive, running multiple stop signs in a residential area at approximately 85 miles per hour toward Oman Road. Seeing that the vehicle continued to pose a danger, an officer closed the distance and deployed a TVI, causing the Challenger to lose control and come to a stop.
Put your hands up! Stop! No! Put your hands up! Call out! Put your hands up! Put your other hand up! Put your other hand up!
Campbell was restrained after failing to comply with commands. A search of the vehicle revealed methamphetamine and marijuana. The suspect faces charges of fleeing, causing danger, possession of controlled substances, driving through private property to avoid an intersection, expired registration, no insurance, and failure to wear a seatbelt. Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, August 4th, 2022. Wauwatosa police observed a sedan suspected to be connected to an armed robbery on Greenfield Avenue. When officers signaled the vehicle to stop, it immediately accelerated away at speeds of about 75 to 80 miles per hour, repeatedly changing lanes and weaving through traffic as patrol units followed.
Speeds are 50 miles per hour, light traffic. Again, this vehicle just did an armed robbery at a Walgreens. Occupied by 2 males, continuing south on 41. .320 again. I got a black Honda Accord, no plates, 2 males, Hispanics. We're at 53 miles per hour, continuing south on 41.
302 to 320 on call. Continuing southbound on 894, coming up to Oklahoma. Again, this vehicle is wanted for armed robbery. Green Honda, no plates, 79 miles an hour. continuing southbound 894, passing Oklahoma. 114, third pursuit. Tulsa 302, you're continuing southbound 894, passing Beloit, green Honda, wanted for armed robbery, 2 occupants. Appears to be maybe occupied by 3 now.
That's for Richard Bruce, confirmed occupied by 3.
Still eastbound. 43, coming up towards 60th. While Tulsa 302, this vehicle's wanted for armed robbery.
320, my vehicle, I think, was struck by spike sticks.
There's also spikes at Loomis.
Someone's gonna have to call and hit the spikes. 114, I can call it. They're pulling over here. They're slowing down at least. Speeds are 40 miles an hour.
320, I'm out.
As the vehicle approached the area near 60th Street, it drove over spike strips deployed by police, causing the vehicle to slow and come to a stop on the roadside.
Got 2 subjects running southbound in the woods.
The suspects were then restrained at the scene, and the situation was handled according to procedure.